Alrighty, what's going on everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and I have to warn you right away, a little bit of a disclaimer. If you guys hear thunder or lightning, my apologies in advance. I tried to go to the quietest room possible to do this recording, and hopefully you guys won't be able to hear it, but there's been a giant thunderstorm going on today. But as I promised, I try to get at least one of these LEGO set reviews out every single week, so I really wanted to make sure that we get one out today. And that's why I'm recording this, even though there's a crazy thunderstorm going on. Nonetheless, today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO DC Comics Superhero set number 76011, aka 11. Of course, Batman, ManBat Attack. Sounds very promising. We've got an absolutely gorgeous art on the front. We see, of course, the entire set on display here. So you get Batman, Nightwing, ManBat, and then furthermore, as if the minifigures weren't awesome enough, you also, of course, get the Batcopter, a little bit of a gliding mechanism type machine for Nightwing, which looks really, really awesome, and even a comic book included. Now, the comic book is the exact same thing you always get of where it's just basically showing you every single one of the sets and kind of trying to tie them together from this wave of the DC Comics superhero stuff. Again, I'd like to see them do a little bit more stuff with not just the Batman universe, like kind of start diving outside of that. And I know they did some of that with Man of Steel, but I'd like to see LEGO take that to a greater extent, because I know, for example, with LEGO Marvel superheroes, they've done a lot of really cool sets, like the Guardians of the Galaxy sets, which, by the way, let me know if you guys want to see reviews for those. They've done Spider-Man sets, they've done Avengers sets, so they've definitely done a larger variety of characters, and that's something that I would like to see happen with the DC Comics side of things as well. But nonetheless, of course, we have a beautiful front here on the back. When we flip it on over, well, you could see a little bit of the build in the back there, which, by the way, I did assemble the set live during a live stream, which was really, really fun, and thank you guys to those that tuned in for that, and that usually happens on Wednesdays. But nonetheless, of course, you will see all the little mechanisms of the toys, which we will take a look at on the toys themselves right now, shall we? So here's the fully assembled set. Of course, you will see the two minifigures right there of Nightwing and ManBat, but Batman is in there actually. And speaking of which, let's begin with this ginormous vehicle, which is the Batcopter. I was really surprised by how massive this thing is. I really was shocked by how huge it was. It's really, really long, as you can see. I mean, there's my hand for comparison. So that is a very, very hefty helicopter, especially because this set is not very large. In fact, it only has 184 pieces, which is why, as I was assembling this, I was really surprised by how big the actual Batcopter turned out. But that is really cool because it's going to be in scale, or somewhat in scale, with the Batmobile that I reviewed a few weeks back, if you recall. So that is really, really cool indeed. So as far as little mechanisms that move on this thing, of course you could turn the little top propeller up top here. The back propeller rotates as well, which is quite lovely. You can actually bend these, which is kind of awesome. I almost imagine Batman landing it down like this and then the wings turning up. I think that would be kind of a cool element. Now, over here on the sides, we actually have a flick missile, so you can go ahead and flick. Whoops, come on. Oh, whoops-a-daisies. There we go. You can flick those out, which is pretty awesome. I guess the thunder is actually kind of cool because it's kind of adding this Batman element to this whole thing, which is quite awesome indeed. But speaking of Mr. Batman, you can open this little canopy, and there you go. There's Batman himself. Looking pretty gosh darn cool, isn't he? So we're just going to go ahead and take him out of there so you could see inside. So you'll see inside the canopy, not much detailing work, just this little panel piece right there, so no steering controls or anything like that. But again, it is one of the smaller sets. It's a little bit more on the affordable side of things. It should retail for about $20 or so, maybe $25 if you're in Canada. So again, it's definitely more on the affordable side of things, which I love. I love these kinds of sets when they're awesome, they're really nicely sized, but they're still very, very much affordable. You can also rotate these turbines here, which is pretty sweet, so I like to pretend that these are little blasters, so you could fire off over here as well, which is kind of awesome. Or, of course, you could also pretend of landing the copter using these turbines. So let's say the turbines help you power down as you're landing it down. So yeah, you can definitely add a little bit more realism to this design thanks to these little built-in turbines that are on the sides. But as if that wasn't enough, there's also a nice little searchlight on the front here, which does move around a little bit up and down. So you could go ahead and find the Joker and all his evil goons. But as if all that wasn't enough, you also have a little grappling hook right here, which you can go ahead and release by spinning this little knob. And what you could do is you could even, for example, hook a character onto this. Where's the little hole in the back here that I did it before with? And it worked. And there you go. Bam! Now, I'm sure the Batman's not too happy about this. I could totally see Robin flying the Batcopter and then Batman going like, Robin, what are you doing, Robin? Robin, you got me by my foot. Let me go, Robin. No! I could totally see that happening. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Robin being a little bit of a pain for Batman to deal with at times. So that is the Batcopter right there. I'm going to go ahead and set it in the background there to provide us for a really nice background. I keep going like this, by the way, if you see me doing that, just because I keep wiping away dust and stuff. It's such a pain to keep up with dust. But before we get to the next minifigure, let's take a look at the vehicle that comes with Robin, or sorry, Nightwing, formerly known as Robin, I should say. So, of course, by the way, this is a very cool design of Nightwing. This is as he is perceived in the current comics, so that is very, very cool that they gave him the red chest and everything, not the blue one. I know that a lot of people would prefer the blue one, but I don't know, I think it works really nicely to have the red one. That's pretty sweet indeed. We'll take a look at the minifigure in just a moment, but you saw how he mounts, so basically you just place the character here, which is why you could obviously put anybody you want there, like Batman, for example, or even ManBat. I mean, it's really up to you how you want to handle this. But the cool thing about this thing is really not this side, it's more so this side right here, which has the really cool Nightwing logo, and then it has these little grappling hooks that can come around. I actually like to go ahead and flip them off. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Takes a lot of power. But you can go ahead and rotate these around and then actually have them almost like shoulder grapple guns, which I think that works nicely as well. The set doesn't actually show you to do this, but I just thought that it kind of looks cool. Oh my goodness, this one doesn't even want to come off. What is going on here? I mean, oh, okay, I think I need to work out my fingers more often, because this is ridiculous, or work out, period, because I don't understand why I'm having such a hard time pulling those off all of a sudden. But as you can see, if you have a character on there, that looks kind of cool, doesn't it? As he's flying, and then the little grapple hooks would launch. I think that that's a pretty cool idea, and I think it works really nicely. But yeah, it's a pretty cool, simple little build. Really was really quick to put together, but I don't know, there's just something really nice about this tiny little design here. I almost want to say that I like it better than the Batcopter, just because it's got this coolness factor, which Nightwing usually has going for him as it is. So, speaking of Nightwing, let's begin with him as our first minifigure that we look at. I'm just going to go ahead and get my camera to zoom on in. As you guys know, sometimes my camera does not want to cooperate, so I'm trying to get it to be better. I'm like, camera, please. We just like play nice now. So here's Mr. Nightwing. You will see that's a very, very brooding and menacing look on his face. Obviously, he's got a really cool hairpiece, actually. On the back, we've got a little bit of printing as well. When we flip it on over, though, obviously you'll notice the really cool design on the hairpiece, but what you can do is actually go ahead and rotate his face to be a little bit more on the happier side of things, even though, to be honest, because of his red eyes and everything, it does still make him look somewhat menacing and scary, because, I don't know, it just makes him look like, oh yeah, I'm cool, like... Like, I don't know, it doesn't make him look very heroic or happy here. It's more so like as if something that he tried to do, something dangerous, he pulled off and it went well, you know what I mean? So I think that that's the expression he has there. That being said, it's awesome to have a Nightwing minifigure. This is actually my very first ever minifigure of Nightwing, so I was super duper excited, and honestly, that and the ManBat were the main reasons to buy the set. I really wasn't even that interested in the Batcopter or the Batman figurine, because I've already got a few of those. Not the Batcopter, the Batman figurines. However, ManBat and Nightwing looked absolutely fantastic. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and bring in ManBat, who is actually holding his weapon of choice in this particular situation, which is just a bunch of sticks of dynamite. So he's a very simple kind of fella. He just throws a bunch of sticks of dynamite at his opponents. In this case, it's Batman and obviously Nightwing. But you'll notice a very, very cool little minifigure right here. You'll see that he's got wings sculpted on, which is quite lovely indeed. So he can actually rotate those around and kind of position himself as though he's about to fly or take off or something. So I really like that. I love the little hairpiece, or the headpiece, I guess it'd be like a hat type thing, in order to create a realistic ManBat looking fella. So that's really cool. I was a little worried at first that what they would do is just like print it on and everything, but obviously on the package then I realized that it's actually a cap, which is awesome. So that looks absolutely terrific. And speaking of terrific, I love this other expression they gave him. It's just so characterful. It is absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at that expression. He's like, oh no, Batman. It didn't work out this time. There's TNT sticks coming my way now. Yeah, he just looks awesome. I think it's a fantastic minifigure. Obviously, he's a little bit limited in range because of his wings, but I think it's obviously a well done job. He definitely looks like ManBat. On one hand, I almost wish that ManBat was a little bit bigger, like one of the big figures, kind of what they did with the Hulk. But at the same time, I guess to keep this set within a certain budget, they have to do this and kind of keep it down. But again, I would love to see at some point in the future a larger scale ManBat interpreted as well. So with that being said, of course, we've only got one last minifigure to go, and that is the Caped Crusader himself, the one and only, the Dark Knight himself. I'm Batman. Of course, this is a very cool outfit actually, because I have a black and gray Batman figurine, but this is a black suited Batman here. Kind of reminded me a little bit more of the 1989 Batman version, so that is really, really nice. As you can see, got a nice Bat logo on the front there. Then we've got his cape in the back, and obviously underneath the cape there is also the belt design going on. So he does have a little bit of a printed on detail there as well, which is quite lovely. And he himself obviously also has two expressions like all the other characters in this set. So he's got the kind of more stern, kind of not interested look, and then he's got more of the growling, almost the same kind of look as Nightwing, but this one almost looks a little bit more smiling, or as if he just pulled off a successful mission. So with all that being said, there you guys have it. That is the set of number, I forgot the number now. Of course I forgot the number. How could I not forget the number? I always forget the number. But of course the set contained absolutely a fantastic set of minifigures and absolutely fantastic Batcopter as well, and I was super duper impressed with it. It is set number 76011. Obviously, as I said before, you could probably pick it up for around $20 to $25. So it's an affordable set. It's definitely a great entry-level set towards your collection. So with all that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if I was a little bit spazzy. I was just always trying to talk over the thunder, and I heard it, but I really hope that the camera wasn't picking it up. So that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. As I said before, if you guys enjoyed the video, please like it, share it with your family and friends, favorite it as well, and of course, let me know down in the comment section below which was your favorite minifigure of the set, and if there are any other sets in particular that you guys would like to see me review. So with all that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later, alligators. Thanks all for watching, guys.